Hey everyone, Chris BAYLIS here from the Sponsorship Collective. And in this video, I want to share a story about how I had a boss who did not understand the sponsorship sales process and what I did to get around this problem, get my boss on side, and close some really significant high five and six-figure sponsorship deals. Check it out. Now, before we get started, if you enjoy these videos and you want me to keep making more, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you get notifications every week when we have a new video, and also hit the thumbs up button. It helps a lot. Years ago, I had this boss who would just call me or email me and say, Chris, go tell a sponsor to give us money so that we can do X, Y, Z. I'm sure this sounds familiar. How many times have you had your boss or a colleague say, just go get sponsorship so that we can do X? Well, you know as well as I do, that doesn't work. However, I was still pretty new and I thought, my boss knows better. I'm just going to do what they're telling me. So I called a sponsor. I told them we would like $50,000. And if they give us $50,000, we'll use it to do XYZ programming and run XYZ events. Guess how well that went? Sponsors or brands, they don't just do what we say. They're held accountable by their stakeholders, by their bosses, by their marketing departments. Every dollar they spend has to produce ROI or return on investment. After 30 or 40 calls just like this, I had collected 40 plus no thank yous from my prospects. So what did I do? The first person I called to tell how to give us money so that we'll have more money, I phoned them back and I said, let's try something different. Gary, I want you to tell me exactly what you're trying to achieve, the exact outcomes that you think are important in your sponsorship program. I want you to tell me your list of must-haves and your list of nice-to-haves. Then I want you to tell me how much you're willing to pay for those things. But before you do, this is not a negotiation tactic. I want you to give me your best price, an honest price, what you're really willing to pay. Then I'm going to take your goal outcomes and I'm going to take the budget you've assigned for these goal outcomes and I'm going to present it to my boss as though you gave me a take it or leave it ultimatum. I said to Gary, don't think of me as the sponsorship salesperson anymore. I want you to think of me as your advocate, as your ambassador. I want you to think of me as an extension of your team, and I'm going to negotiate on your behalf. What do you think? Gary loved it. He shared with me all of the things he was trying to do, how much he was willing to pay, and we came up together with a package that I could sell internally. Notice, we didn't come up with a gold, silver, bronze package that he wants to buy. We came up with a package for me as the sponsorship advocate to sell internally to my leadership. I presented the offer to the leadership team, to my boss, and I said, Gary has given us his final offer. He's willing to pay this much for these outcomes. And he said, either we can do it or we can't. And if we can't, he's going to walk. And what did my boss say? Make it so. In other words, she was ready to go and sign on the dotted line. So I tried the same tactic with 2 more prospects. Sure enough, 2 more sales. Now, these were high 5-figure, low 6-figure sponsorship deals. And so for me, it was worth taking a risk and acting on behalf of my sponsors as their advocate, as their ambassador within my organization. What was the end result? In total, I sold around $1.5 million in sponsorship in this way. My boss told me that is the most anyone had sold in that position to date. All of my sponsors were happy because they got exactly what they wanted. And I learned the most important lesson in sponsorship early on in my career. If I think of myself as a salesperson trying to force brands to purchase what I think I have to offer, I'm going to fail. Instead, I started to think of myself as a problem solver, as a consultant, as a representative of my sponsorship prospects. And then my discovery, my sales calls, all of the work that I was doing was really just to get to know exactly what my sponsors, my prospects wanted to achieve. And then I took the time to think, how can I sell this internally to get the outcome that my sponsors want, that my company wants, and that I want as a sponsorship salesperson? And of course, most important of all, what does our shared audience want and how will they get benefit? So the next time someone tells you, hey, go out and get some sponsorship so that we can do X, reach out to a handful of prospects, how you can work together to achieve their goals. Tie their goals to the goals you're trying to achieve, and then present it internally as a win-win situation. It certainly worked for me, and I think it'll probably work for you. Now, if what I'm saying in today's video resonates with you and you want to learn more about how to talk to sponsors and learn from them so that you can become an ambassador for your sponsors, I'm going to drop a link below to our free training all about how to grow your sponsorship program. Check it out. Make sure you sign up below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you get updates every week when we send out a new video.